Alright guys, you better hear this one quickly because the new energies are coming in so fast, so quickly, and there's so much, let's say, just like in a 3D when we have mixed signals, there's a lot of mixed energies coming in, not like usually like in the past we would have like energy of purging, or we would have downloads of supportive and strong positive energy and building up the 5D relationship with your twin flame. Then we would have 3D contrast energies when we would have to face our own fears and get stronger on things that we haven't dealt with in the past, get over traumatic experiences and stuff all over again to strengthen up. Now, this time what I'm saying is, before the energies were specific, more like either negative or positive at certain times. Now they're very mixed in these days, and things are coming at speed, at such a high speed that you kind of, it's hard to keep up. Before this time of these mixed energies, there was time, I'd say, the energy of drop-offs, because so many twins, if they were twins, maybe not, maybe they were, I'm not gonna judge on that, but a lot of people have dropped off on the journey. Simply, it was hard, it was just too hard for them. And that's not to say that it was not too hard for us who didn't give up, but for some reason they just had to give up. And that has, I don't know, that has a reason in its own, because it's just like a race, it's just like a marathon or a race. The best stay on the track, we didn't throw in the towel, and so now the energy has shifted. And although it's a mixture of negative and positive, seemingly negative and seemingly positive, both positive has its how should I say, dark side a bit, but negative has a bright side to it, even though you cannot see it at this moment. Most importantly, what I'm trying to say here today is that I expected the last steps before reunion to be, I guess I expected something different. I never really imagined reunion itself, because I know that's up to higher source, God, Allah, to create a certain scenario. How is it gonna happen? How will your twin approach you? It's just, it gives me goosebumps right now, because someone told me that my twin will come from behind me, sort of like by surprise, take me by surprise, like maybe somewhere accidentally run into me, but he will come from like behind my back. I will not see, he's gonna sneak up on me, and that somehow gives me goosebumps, because I feel that could be very much truth. Because if he did approach me from the front, how do I guarantee myself that after all this time of waiting, that I will not freak out and not to run away, but maybe I will pretend that I don't see him. Maybe I will freak out, maybe I'll get cold feet. So yeah, that sounds pretty realistic to me, that if he approached me from the back, maybe hugged me or something, even though I don't know, I never really imagined the moment of our reacquaintance. How would that happen? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about merging energies before the actual reunion. I always imagine somehow that all of our higher selves, the 5 and 4 dimensional essence of us, would have to be downloaded completely into 3D, because we meet occasionally on 5D level, and we did had that telepathic connection, and then kind of it's not that it faded, but the road has taken a different turn. This is why it's called journey. Twin flame journey has its turns, and it has its, it has different parts of the routes that we go through, and things change. So things been different, like last year when we went through this or that, when you went through Kundalini awakening, when you had telepathic connection with your twin, when you had astral projections with your twin. Then in my case, when when the twin manifests through another person, when the twin channels through another person. So there's all kinds of different parts of the journey. So like, if you are not telepathically in connection, like you cannot speak telepathically with your twin anymore, that makes sense. If you are having someone who is channeling your twin, then why would you have your twin telepathically anymore when you have someone who tells you things that otherwise your twin would tell you? They are telepathically merged with your twin, and they let you know. So there's all these different steps on the journey, but what I didn't expect at this part of the journey is this. The merging of the energies. I somehow imagine a little bit differently, not like I've ever been through this before, so we can't really know what to expect next. But somehow I thought it would be more like just coming from 5 and 4D into 3D, and kind of like just realizing, and then my twin is going to awaken as well in his own way, and then he's going to realize. And somehow I thought it was going to be like through the 3D communication, as if to tell me, hey, I know who you are, I know what you mean to me, I know who we are together, what we are supposed to, I was more imagining that to be like download to him in that direct way, and then he will directly express that to me, as in when people express their feelings, like when people realize feelings for another person, and they come out and say, I am no longer in denial, I love you, or whatever, or I am no longer afraid of commitment, let's get married, or something like that. I thought like twin flame will come out, awaken, and I sort of imagined he's awakening in a little bit different way, like that he will just come out of this kind of groggy, sleepy state and realize what we are. It doesn't have to necessarily be the terminology of twin flame. He could figure it out in a different way, like let's say, I know we are meant for each other, I know we are one, we are just like one, or something. That's how I imagine it, for to a certain level. But it's not exactly like that. How things are evolving right now is, this is what I want to tell you, is the merging is happening. I imagine merging to happen like instantly. Like the merge will happen, like let's say one night before his realization. It's gonna be like poof, and he's gonna like come into the fifth dimension and realize, and we would merge, and then next day he will knock on my door, or call me, or text me, or email me, or something like, hey, guess what, we merged, I know. Well, it's not like that. It's more like it's like gradual. Merging is happening gradually, very right now with these current energies, very fast, but still gradually. So like day by day, minute by minute, the merging is more not more visible, but more plausible, and more you can feel it inside of you. Okay, I'm gonna give you now direct description of what I felt. so that you can understand what I'm trying to tell you here. Um, 3 nights ago, I was, regardless of all the current ups and downs and crazy situations, I was extremely calm myself. I myself were was I was in a very calm state of mind and spirit and body, and I was just in a relaxed state of mind, spirit, and body, and I was laying down, and I started feeling palpitations in my heart so strongly. Then again, I tried to feel myself, like feel my energy, feel my state of being. And however I accessed my own state of being, it was calm. I was calm. There was nothing to upset me that day. There was nothing to, although days before or after, I mean, there was a lot of things going on. But at that specific hour, let's say hour or 2 hours, I was extremely calm and felt completely at peace. However, I had those palpitations at the same time in my heart that I could not feel as my own. They were not, because they were not my own. They were my twins. It felt as if he was running, racing, or perhaps doing cardio, or in a desperate state of upset, of maybe he was crying, maybe he was uh, in a terrible state of heartache, or but it felt more like physical exhaustion, like physical, like racing, like what I could describe it best as is when I was just a kid and we would had we I grew up in part of like Southern Europe, which had Eastern Europe government and social whatever, and it was we had really tough physical classes in our school. It was really borderline abuse, and we had to run like 5 6 in the morning. We come to school and we had to run like it doesn't matter, it didn't matter if it was winter, it was cold, whatever. They would make us run in circles in hard heavy snow, uh, storm weather, and I suffered bronchitis as a child, and it was really hard for me to breathe and run. And my heart, I felt like my heart was going to jump out. It was so hard. And people who run or do cardio, they know like when they reach that limit, like, like really your heart is going to give out. And that's how I felt, that, that, that like really heartbeat was fast, and it was not mine. Like I could feel my own heartbeat below that one, was completely calm and at peace. And again, however I access, like, is this me, or I mean, maybe I'm like secretly upset with something, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm denying myself some to feel some pain or something. No, however I tried to feel it, it was not my heart that was racing, but I could feel it in my heart chakra area. So I realized something was going on with my twin, and I could actually feel it. And that's like the last steps of the process of merging, when you can actually feel the other person's body inside your body. Like I used to feel before, I used to feel, you would feel tingling on your lips. And I did, now this sounds weird, but I did recheck that with the person who was channeling my twin, and he would say that he was thinking about me at that certain moment, and he was missing me, or thinking about, he was imagining kissing me. And so I could feel, and I checked with that person who was channeling my twin, not my organic twin directly. But before I met the person who was channeling my twin, I could feel things like that. And I used to follow my twin flame's social media, and he would post things at that moment on his. So I knew there was a connection, and I was not imagining things. When Kundalini awakened, I could feel his energy through root chakra. Later on, also through the channel, I felt sacral chakra energy pool and stuff. But now it's completely like body inside body. Like you can feel other person's body, like what you would normally feel at certain circumstances. Let's say if you're running, you're jogging, and you get really tired and your heart is racing. You know that feeling? Well, how about if you're peaceful and you're not running and you're laying in your bed and you're super calm, and at the same time you feel someone else running, whether he was running or being upset or whatever. At the same time, I had another confirmation from my manifested twin, who next day we talked on the phone and he said something very weird. He said, I asked him about his day, and he said he went on the seashore, on the ocean, and that's something I wanted to do the day before. That's what I dreamed of doing, but I live inland, so I cannot reach the ocean. And he lives on the other side of the earth, but he lives close to the coast, so I didn't tell him that I wanted to go, that it's kind of something that I missed that I wish I could do. But I did plan that day to go on a lake, in like, as a substitute for the ocean. I wanted to go on a nature walk on the lake, and I didn't make it. I didn't have a car and I couldn't go. So, but I didn't tell him anything about that. So now I'm talking to him next day, and he says, I was asking him about how his day was, and he described to me the walk on the shore and like walk in the nature. And I asked him, why did you go on the shore? Like, I thought maybe he had some reason. He said, I just felt like being there, and I just needed to go, and I was feeling lonely and I was feeling sad, and I wanted to walk there to make myself feel better. I said, okay. And then I kind of felt need to say, did you miss me? I wish I was there, because I kind of wish I was there. So I said, did you miss me? And he surprisingly, my weird manifested twin, he said, no, no, I didn't miss you. And that was like a sharp knife when he said, I didn't miss you. But then immediately said, because how can I miss you when you're always with me? You were there with me. I could feel you with me, and so I knew you were right there next to me. And that was like really weird, because I felt like that is one of the signs of merging, and not the only one, but just keep in mind that to watch for such signs. So you have to okay, one more thing that I guess I want to say, like, if I wasn't so calm that night before to feel, I don't know if I would feel my twin racing heart if I was not calm myself. So many times we ourselves are in some state of stress, and we are running around and being in a constant race with time, or our energy is like we're surrounded by negative people, negative energies, we're upset with something. So sometimes we don't feel, we already have mixed up stuff, so we don't feel our twin. But when we are super calm, and we are like in some kind of meditative state, and we really relax and hear and listen to our breathing, then we can like feel, I guess the contrast was so large that I was so calm, and calm enough to hear, not my own body was silent and calm, so I could, and in that same moment it happened so that my twin was upset with something, and that his heart was racing, and then so that I was calm enough that I could feel his heart. Someone else mentioned also on this that it could be that his heart chakra was opening at this moment, so he felt intense pain, and heartbeat was fast and stuff, and And this is a good sign. This is another good sign that the reunion is approaching. One more thing that I want to mention right now is that something I remember from before, because that's another proof that merging is happening gradually. It doesn't happen overnight. It's just really easily, slowly, step by step, but steadily. It's not overnight process. It's really happening step by step. I just remembered in 2014, before my Kundalini opened, before it was activated, I was having trouble for a couple of months. I would suddenly, out of no reason, have low blood pressure. And I would check my pulse, and it was extremely low. And it was a mystery. Nobody could figure this out. So I have some medical background, educational, education wise. So I checked like all my knowledge, what I knew about it, and I blamed it on fatigue, chronic fatigue, which is not out of question on your twin flame journey, because you do go through chronic fatigue. You could have different types of blood infection, yeast infection. Everything is related to your body process of purging and releasing toxins and releasing old things, and kind of like um your whole insides are remodeling, so to say. So yeah, that's not unusual, but I blamed it on that. When now I realize, after this experience, that actually what is most likely possible is that my twin was sleeping at the time when I was up and running and being active, and suddenly I would feel like a rush of like sleep, and my blood pressure is so low, and I feel like I'm gonna faint, and oh, my heart rate is so low. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, am I alive? I can't even feel my heart, as if I'm in a state of sleep, but I'm awake. So I believe that my twin was sleeping at the moment, and my body was feeling his state of sleep, and so my heart rate was slowing down as well, like uh, being like in a momentarily, like for a moment being my twin, like merging with my twin in moments. And that's what I'm trying to say here. Now these moments are getting closer. Like we used to merge with our twin occasionally. Like let's say the merge happened only once in 2 years. You could feel that, and then it was gone. Nothing. You couldn't feel your twin. Nothing. Then it would happen twice a year, then 3 times a year, then once in 3 months, then once in 2 months, and it's getting closer. Now it's happening until it comes to happening once a day, and then finally, when it starts happening constantly, that means that your final merge is completed in 5 and 4D. And then after that is the time for the physical, for the actual 3D reunion. Until then, it's just not possible. And that's why your twin didn't come earlier, knock on your door, nothing, because it's your twin. It's not your boyfriend. It's not your romantic partner. It's your twin. It's your twin flame. So things have to be all, you can't make a cake and put a frosting until you bake the biscuits first. Like things happen gradually. So merging process is like the waves of merging they have to become closer and closer and closer together. Okay, I hope this was not super unclear. I hope you got some out of this, and I don't want to keep any longer. It's 24:24. Okay, let's stop this video right now. Love you guys. I forgot to say peace be upon you, salam alaikum, and I didn't want to make huge intro or anything because there was a message I wanted to give you. I hope you subscribe, like, and comment. Please comment. Let me hear your experiences with merging and how could you feel your twins sometimes and all that. Okay, and we're gonna check 2424 what it means. I'm gonna put that below in description. Love you guys. Peace be upon you. Salam alaikum, and all the best.